Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams. Okay, so just before we get going on this episode, we've got a very exciting news update that you probably are all aware of by the time you listen to this podcast, but I think Lucy and I have to acknowledge it. And what is it, Lucy?
Well, Robbie has achieved his 14th number one album.
Yes.
And is now the solo artist with the most number one albums in the UK, which is incredible.
The most number one albums in the UK. Wow.
By a solo artist, yes.
By a solo artist.
Obviously, the Beatles are ahead of him. They've got 15 and he's on 14.
Ooh.
And I have had lots of arguments online with people saying that he doesn't deserve it and all sorts of horrible comments. And I've been arguing with people.
Have you been doing a Robbie when he gets his Twitter password?
Yeah, I have,
you
yeah.
Get in there.
Yes.
That's what you've been spending all your time doing. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, it's
Don't
massive.
mess with Lucy, by the way. I really wouldn't.
Massive congratulations to Robbie. It's very well done. And to everyone involved in the album.
Yeah, what an incredible achievement. Absolutely incredible. Really well deserved.
Yeah.
Absolutely well deserved by Rob. And as you say, the entire team, everybody that's worked with him over the years, some of them that we've even had on the show as well. So yeah, what a great achievement.
And also just to point out that if you include his number ones with Take That, that adds another 4 or even 5 if you include Odyssey, their latest greatest hits, which takes them up to 18 or 19. And Paul McCartney, as part of the Beatles, is currently on 23 if you include all of his number ones.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
With the Beatles and solo.
Right.
So he's still a bit behind Paul McCartney for having the most ever, but it's extremely well done.
Oh, there's some more albums yet to come. So I think we're going to see some more number ones.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
And also just to say that I forgot to mention in the last episode about Robbie's clothes line that he has launched with Camilla in Australia. Very nice designs, I think.
My birthday's coming up soon.
Matt keeps hinting about his birthday.
I don't know, would any of it suit me?
Yeah, I think so. You like loud shirts?
Fairly, yeah. They look quite nice, actually. I haven't looked at them in detail, but yeah, they look pretty good.
Well, maybe you need to actually look and tell me.
Yeah, but it's got to come all the way from Australia.
Yeah, but a little trick for our listeners here. If you know someone in Australia, get them to buy it for you in Australia and post it to you as a gift so that you don't have to pay customs charges, because it's a lot cheaper to buy it in Australia than it is in the UK.
Oh, good. We have a few friends in Australia. Right. Okay, I'll take a look.
So.
Okay, great. So enjoy the episode with Bobbie.
Today we're talking about the second half of Robbie's The Heavy Entertainment Show album and the world tour of 2017. And our special guest fan is Bobbie. Hello, Bobbie.
Hello, Bobbie.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Lucy.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Bobbie from Grimsby.
Yep.
Bobbie, I think I've known you since the Heavy Entertainment Show, really, because... yeah, it was the Apple Music Festival gig. You took me as your +1 to that, didn't you?
I did, yes. That's right.
Yeah. Only because your other friends couldn't make it, so... Just to explain why I didn't know you before then suddenly I was your +1. It was because other people couldn't make it, and so you were like, well, okay, yeah, Lucy, why don't you come?
You've got Sarah to thank for that.
Yeah, Sarah. Lovely Sarah. So
yeah,
can you tell us?
The other friends were doing Tough Mudder.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky there.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did you become a Robbie fan?
Well, I saw Take That in 93, I think it was, Sheffield. God knows what tour it was, because I can't remember that far back.
Right.
And then I didn't do anything then until 2006.
Right.
Close Encounters in Leeds. And I don't even know why I went to see him, to be honest. I don't know what made me get a ticket. So I went there with my friend and her husband and my son.
Yeah.
And then the week after, I went to Milton Keynes with my sister.
What? So you're not even sure why you went, and then you went twice?
No idea. I just don't know. I don't even know why I got a ticket.
Yeah.
Yes. So Leeds, I was just general admission, and I sat right up on the hill near Chicken and Chips, if you can remember it in the when it was on TV. It was like Chicken and Chips. I was set up near Chicken and Chips.
We were at that gig as well. Yeah.
Yeah, miles away. And then the next week got gold. Was it Golden Circle then? I can't remember what it was called. It was. With my sister, just went on the day, probably mid-morning, and got third row, I think. Yeah, on the day. I mean, how does that happen? And then I was hooked.
Good.
So to say.
Right.
So have you got a favourite song or favourite album?
Favourite song would probably be Bullet.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a different
Because
one.
it's got one of my favourite lyrics in it.
Which lyric is that?
It's the, and then you straddled me like a bridge going somewhere good.
I seem to remember you mentioning that before.
I just love it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
Bullet,
like
Revolution, that's another favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love Light,
Right.
and then the normal Come Undone,
Yeah.
Better Man.
Have you got a favourite video?
No, I haven't got a favourite video. I just
Right.
like loads of the videos. Yeah, I can't really pick one out. No, I can't pick one out. I just like quite a few of them.
Okay. And then what's your favourite tour that you've been to?
Probably Heavy Entertainment Show Tour.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what I did the most of.
Yeah.
And then I've had like the odd gig within a tour that's been out, stood out as well.
Yeah.
But the actual whole tour probably is the Heavy Entertainment Show, yeah.
So do you have a favourite memory or moment? I know you've got lots, but...
Probably when I met him. Everybody says that, I think. So.
Everyone's... Yeah, well, which time was that? The first time you met him? Or
First time in Prague, yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the barrier and my son came over to speak to us and he just said, Mum, do you want to come backstage? Rob would like to meet you. So then I was a bit dithery.
Oh, and just to explain to listeners who your son is, otherwise they may not understand.
Okay, so my son's Leo, who is Rob's photographer and videographer.
Yeah, okay.
So Leo said that to me and I was very dithery at the barriers, like, I don't know if I want to. But then Alan literally picked me up and threw me over the barrier and said, you're going. So I was like, okay, thanks, Alan. And then, I met him backstage with 10 minutes warning.
Oh my God. That must have been so freaky.
Yeah, exactly. It was because I don't think I'd brushed my hair for 15 hours or something like that. And I was like, great, this is how I wanted to look when I met him. Yeah, thanks for that.
And were you worried you smelt as well, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I was like, look at the state of me. Thanks. But then, thank you. I'm really appreciative of this moment. So that's probably one of my favourite moments. Yeah.
And was Robbie lovely to you? I bet he was.
Yeah, it was, yes.
Oh,
yeah, very.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I can't actually remember what we spoke about.
Yeah, I bet. It must have been such a blur of just weirdness.
Bit surreal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
So you ended up actually doing loads of the Heavy Entertainment Show tour, didn't you?
I did 11.
11, wow.
Yeah, started in the UK and ended in Australia.
Wow, all the way into 2018, was that Australia?
Yeah, it was. Was it the March, I think?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was.
So I took John along. He was really impressed.
He didn't go to the actual concert with you, though, did he?
He did, yeah. We got went to a seated one in Sydney. So, yeah, he loved every minute of it.
Great.
So,
No, he did enjoy it.
Well, and combined with a trip to Australia as well, that must have been quite something.
Yeah, because that was on his bucket list and I've always said, no, we can't do Australia. Oh, Robbie's going. Do you want to go to Australia?
Suddenly everything's possible with Robbie.
Yeah, along with Vegas. No, we can never go to Vegas. Oh, would you like to go to Vegas twice in 2 months?
So yeah, you went to Vegas as well, didn't you? Did you meet him in Vegas?
Yeah.
You did? What was that like? Did you enjoy it?
I did, yes. I don't know if I was more nervous because you have to wait in line. So you know your turn's coming. So it's like, oh, no, you know. So I think maybe the 10 minutes warning was maybe a bit better because otherwise you just stood there overthinking it. Once again, he was lovely.
And I think during one of the Vegas shows, Robbie always used to come up and give Ida a kiss, didn't he, during the show? One of the bits he'd come into the crowd. But one of the nights Ida wasn't there and he came up and gave you a hug as well instead, didn't he?
He did, yes.
He was probably looking for her and was like, oh, there's Bobbie, I'll give her a hug instead.
I was sat in Ida's seat. He did. He was like, oh no, she'll do.
Cool.
And he shook John's hand as well, so that was nice. Yes. Oh yeah, so that's another nice moment.
So can you tell us, what does Robbie mean to you?
Friends.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of nice friends. I've travelled the world because of him, with friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a little community that we're all in.
Yeah.
But I also socialise with Robbie friends outside of Robbie world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've made a good friendships with a lot of people because of him.
And is it right to say that you're known as a knob? Got to ask.
I'm a right knob, Matt.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Not just you, but a few others in your gang are known as knobs. And how did this come about?
This was after a gig in, I think it was Leeds. Was it maybe Swinged Both Ways? I can't remember. And Jenny, we was in the hotel bar, and I think Jenny had written something on Facebook and said to us, does that make me a knob writing that? And we was like, yeah, you're a right knob. Actually, you're Rob's knobs. And then that was it. That was all it was. So it's Jenny's fault we're all knobs. Yeah.
Rob's knobs. Yes. So if you hear of Rob's knobs, Bobbie's one of them.
Yes. Bobbie knob.
All right, well, let's go on to the second half of the Heavy Entertainment Show, because obviously we've done the first half with Karen in the last episode.
Yeah. So we're going to start with David's song, written by Rob, Guy Chambers, Cara Diagardi and Jewel. David's song was produced by Guy and Richard Flack. Cara is an American songwriter, record producer and singer. Sales of albums on which her songs appear exceed 160 million worldwide. She won 2007's BMI Pop Songwriter of the Year and has received 20 BMI awards for co-writing songs. She's worked with Kelly Clarkson, Britney, Christina Aguilera, Pink, to name a few. Jewel is an American singer, songwriter, actress and author with 4 Grammy nominations who sold over 30 million albums worldwide.
Originally written in 2015 and called Last Song Ever, Robbie worried it was too morose and tried to rewrite it. But when he found out that his manager, David Enthoven, had incurable cancer in August 2016, he sat discussing his album with Ida to distract himself. This song took on a new meaning, and Ida suggested it be called David's Song. David died on the 11th of August 2016, aged 72.
Rob told Chris Heath in Reveal, "He saved me many times. He was very sage. He had the best advice. He was my spiritual father and also a dear, dear friend. I just loved his company, being around him and being with him. He was the guiding hand that put me back on the tracks, and with love guided my career and guided my health. If there's anything that he'd want me and the people that I work for to be, it's courageous, and go forward with kindness and laughter."
In the track-by-track commentary, Rob said, It's a song about death and about dying, and it became befitting to name it after him. Originally, it was a song about me worrying about dying. It's not something that I stay worrying about. Shit, I don't want a new life. This one's great. What if I don't come back as a pop star? Look at my house. It's a heartfelt song, and I've got so many beautiful connections with people on this planet as Robert Peter Williams, and I don't want to leave it. You know, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my life, and I love my friends, and I want to stay. I don't want to go. It makes me sad thinking about it. So, what do we think of David's song? Bobbie, would you like to go first?
I love it. Yeah. It's one of those songs that I can listen to on repeat and repeat and repeat.
I think it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And I particularly love the chorus. It's a really emotional song, and you can feel the emotion when Rob's singing it.
Yeah.
And you can kind of envisage the scene that he's describing in the song, can't you, when you listen to the lyrics?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think it's just a beautiful ballad, and it's a really timeless tribute to David. Although, obviously, now that I know more about the song, it wasn't written specifically for David, was it? It was actually written before, but he then made it about David's song, about David. And I find the tone and emotion in Rob's voice really moving. You can hear it. You know what I mean? You know, when people are really bringing the emotion into their singing, and obviously Rob does that so well anyway. And I love the orchestral strings. You can really start to hear them about a minute in. They start to sort of fade up. And I also love the last minute of the song. There's like an electric guitar solo at the end, and then more of the orchestral strings, and then Rob sings the final verse. It's just, it's a really lovely song.
Yeah, I love it.
I like the line, I just want to be a human being. Hold me now, we all know what I'm fearing. I think I see the light, am I disappearing? That always gets me.
Yeah. Gives me goosebumps that when you've just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really haunting, isn't it, that song?
Yeah.
But going back to the Amazon gig, Robbie did actually kind of dedicate that song to Alan from our Take the Crown episode. He was introducing the song, and he just saw Alan in the crowd and said, "Oh, Alan, you lost someone recently, didn't you?" It was his dad, and he said, "Oh, yeah, I understand how you're feeling." And that was a nice moment, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was, that was back in the day when he used to actually talk to us and kind of know things that were going on in people's lives, and
it was,
relate to everyone. That was very moving.
Yeah, that was lovely for him to say that.
And also, I did notice that he sung a lot of the song with his eyes closed, which he doesn't often do, does he, when he's singing in a concert?
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's not an eyes closed kind of singer, usually.
No. So obviously it was quite emotional for him to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like it when people sing with their eyes shut.
No, I don't normally, but I think you could understand it in that moment.
But that's different. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics in the chorus. I know I promised I wouldn't leave here without you. Please don't let me go. While they play the last song ever, the last chance to hold each other forever.
Oh.
And it's so, just, incredibly deep lyrics.
Yes, just the whole song is amazing.
Shall we move on to Pretty Woman?
Yes. Pretty Woman was written by Rob, Ed Sheeran, Steve Robson, Benny Blanco and Chris Sclafani. It was also produced by Steve Robson, a Grammy-nominated English songwriter and record producer who sold in excess of 138 million records. He's co-written extensively with Ollie Murs and Take That, and received Ivor Novello Awards and nominations for Troublemaker, Dance With Me Tonight and Shine. A classically trained instrumentalist, he's also written with James Blunt, James Morrison, Ronan Keating, Louis Tomlinson, Busted and more.
Benny Blanco is an American record producer who's contributed to the sale of 500 million albums worldwide, including Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Maroon 5, Britney Spears, Rihanna, Sia, and Kanye West. He's had hits of his own, too, since 2018. Chris Sclafani is a Grammy Award-winning engineer, producer and mixer who's worked with Ed Sheeran.
I'm sure we've all heard this story. Rob told it a lot during promo for the album. In August 2016, he emailed Ed Sheeran, "Hi mate, I've written at least 70 songs for my new album. I'm being picky as fuck, and if I stand with my hand on my heart, there's 7, maybe 8 I can stand by. I'm still writing, and me and Johnny McDade have a good connection that I'm looking forward to exploring. That being said, if you have any spare bangers, I'm up for having a listen. Those nuggets are so hard to come by, so I totally understand if you're saving them for yourself. Death to your enemies."
In the track by track, Rob said, "I emailed Ed because I was having a neurotic panic about my album, a slight confidence crisis. And I know that Ed's writing some amazing songs and he's supremely talented. And not only that, wherever he goes, his reputation precedes him as being the loveliest guy in the music industry. He's the Tom Hanks of pop. I sent him an email, said, 'Hey mate, have you got any hits?' He said, 'What about this?' He sent me this one over. Great song, great beat, great lyric, great vibe. I thought it was missing a chorus. So I went and wrote a chorus to it. I believe that I rounded the song off and it became what it is on this album. It was always called Pretty Woman, but now it's got a chorus on it. Luckily for me, Ed's auntie bought him his first 2 albums, and one of them was Life Through a Lens. That works out well for me. 20 years in the future, I'm asking that young man if he can help me out with a hit, and I think he did. It's about a pretty woman in a club that's driving you crazy and that you would love to date, mate, befriend, have her fancy you, all of the above."
So, Matt, what do you think of Pretty Woman?
Pretty Woman, yeah. Well, I don't know. The title obviously always reminds me of the film Pretty Woman for a start, but there's no link, but not that I'm aware of. But I love the way that there's absolutely no intro to this song. It's boom straight in.
Yeah.
Hey, Pretty Woman, bang straight in. There's just something cool about that because a lot of his songs have little intros and build up, don't they? And that really catchy beat just kicks in immediately. And there's so much energy in this song. It's just, just keeps going all the way through, positive energy. It's a good sing-along tune. I can definitely hear the Ed Sheeran vibe on this one.
Bobbie, do you like Pretty Woman?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really catchy, upbeat. Yeah, I like this one too. I like the why don't you shape what you've been given from your mama? I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, Liz?
Well, the chorus is my favourite bit of the song, so I'm glad that Rob added that to it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would sound like without it, really.
Yeah. I guess some songs
weird.
don't have a chorus, but...
Seems a bit odd. I also like, I put your hands on your body, baby, work those hips. I like that bit.
Yeah.
Some funky guitar bits and a good beat. It's a good song, but I'd always rather have something that Rob's written, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's got a good, interesting lyrics, though. It does certainly convey how interested the man is in the woman that he's just seen.
Yes.
Also, Robbie did sing this at the Heart gig that Matt and I went to, and I actually looked it up on Google to see if Rob had sung this live anywhere, and then I was like, "Oh look, that's my video that's come up."
All right.
Google knows more than Lucy does what we do about our own lives. Oh look, it was us.
So I'd completely forgotten that he'd sung it. So then I re-watched my video that I had posted on YouTube.
Google is your friend.
But I learnt a lesson from that because I saw from Lucy's notes that she said Matt filmed it on Facebook Live. And the quality of Facebook Live isn't always great when you do it. Sometimes it's all right, but it wasn't, and so it's a bit grainy, wasn't it?
It's a very bad quality video.
I've been very cautious about doing Facebook Lives ever since.
Lesson learned, Matt. Well done.
But it was there, and it did. Yes, it was there, and it did remind you of where he sang it live, where we were stood right in front of him.
Yeah. But yeah, he did also sing it at Radio 2 and the Amazon Prime gig as well. So yeah, he's only sung it live a few times, so we were lucky to be at one of those occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good song live, I think.
It is a good song.
And has he ever sang it with Ed Sheeran?
No.
He hasn't, has he?
It'd be good, wouldn't it, if cause you know how Ed always gets people up on stage at his concerts? It would be good if Robbie turned up once and they did that together.
Yeah, we were hoping that Rob might pop up on stage, at the Ed Sheeran concert, but it was Stormzy instead. But that's still good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as Robbie would have been, of course. Not
Exactly.
But of course, I think Rob has been on stage with Ed before at one of Ed's concerts, but they sung Angels, I think.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Have I got a
They
vague
have been
recollection
together,
of
but I
that?
can't remember where.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rob did sing with Ed Sheeran when Ed was on tour in 2018.
In Amsterdam.
I've just found the YouTube. You can look it up. He comes on stage wearing an Ed Sheeran tour top, and does Angels. So there you go.
There we go. Now we know.
So should we go on to Hotel Crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So written by Rob, Guy and Rufus Wainwright and produced by Guy and Rufus. The orchestral arrangement was done by Guy and Steve Sidwell. Rufus features on vocals alongside Rob. Actress Helena Bonham Carter is the crazy-sounding lady at the beginning. She's friends with Rob and Rufus, apparently, and she came into the studio and told them she was proud of them and that she thought that she'd heard it before and asked them whether it was an old song, a cover, and they were like, no, we wrote it.
And in the track by track, Rob said, Hotel Crazy came about by actual real-life dips into mental illness. I've got depression, so that's labelled as mental illness. But then there's the depression, and then there's the actual crazy bit where you're like, uh-oh, I'm going to some place new. Or you only realise when you get out of the other end and you go, oh, that was mental. What were you up to there? Why did that happen? I've had a phrase for ages pointing out somebody that's going crazy is checking into Hotel Crazy for a little bit. And sometimes that's where I've been.
The incredibly talented and gifted Rufus, who's mercurial and just a huge talent, and I've worked with him a few times now, and it's always an honour when he agrees to come over to the house and gift me with his talents. He's a part of 3 songs on this record, which is not a bad hit rate. I did 70-something, and I think Rufus did 3 with me for this record, and all 3 are on the record. That says something. Helena Bonham Carter is on this record too. She's talking at the beginning. Maybe she's the hotel manager of Hotel Crazy in this song, or maybe she's a guest, or maybe she's both. There was a shout to keep it just in case I did another swing album, and I probably will do another swing album, but it was my idea to have the 10 best possible songs I could have on this album, and one of them was Hotel Crazy, so it simply must go on this record.
So Lucy, what do you think of Hotel Crazy?
Well, Helena certainly does sound crazy at the start.
Yep.
She's perfect for the part, and she just makes me think of Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yep.
From the Harry Potter films. The only thing that they should be checking out is my ass. I like that bit. I'm a Big Mac short of a Happy Meal. It's a funny saying, and it makes me laugh when that they've included that in it. I present myself as a normal dude, look you in the eye when I talk to you. That's another line I like. Just really clever lyrics, and I love the concept. I like Rufus's bit, gonna make you mad, gonna make you sad, gonna make you want to be here. I think he delivers that really well.
Yeah.
And they sound really good together, but sometimes I feel like you can hardly tell the difference between Rob and Rufus. They kind of merge into one a bit.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
But I must confess that I have occasionally skipped this song.
Ooh.
Same. Oh, okay. So I'm not the only one. It's just a bit it sort of plods along, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've got next to it. I've got okay, and then in brackets skip. So it's okay. Skip.
Most of the time I listen to it, but it has been.
I have got the Big Mac.
You like the Big Mac line as well?
Yeah, I did write the Big Mac lyric down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's okay.
Sandwich short of a picnic's another one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't have sounded the same, though.
No.
Oh, it's a shame that you two both skip it, because I absolutely love this song. And I can't really remember at the beginning whether I did, because it is odd. And I think, you know, in the middle of, well, towards the end of Heavy Entertainment Show album, it's kind of like, oh, this is a bit weird. But it is now one of my sort of darker Robbie favourites. I love the absolutely weird opening from Helena Bonham Carter. I've never quite worked out exactly why she says what she says, but she does. I sort of think the song's a bit otherworldly, you know. It's got this weird effect to me when I'm listening to it, and I love that. And I don't really know what the effect is, you know. It's just like, oh, it's a bit different. And then the opening chorus, if you don't listen really carefully, you could totally, as Lee said, be mistaken for thinking that that's Robbie singing the chorus, and it's not. It's Rufus. And we listened to it the other day, and we were like, oh my god, it's really similar. I guess they have got similar voices, but they were purposely sort of singing in a very different way, because if you listen to them, it's almost like they're sedated or something, or maybe on some certain substances, which I'm sure they weren't, but you know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. It's sort of very laid back style that they're singing in, which really works with the song.
Yeah.
And then, because I like it so much, I've always had this mental image of Hotel Crazy from the very first few listens. It's all right, it's clean. I imagine this very cool and trendy frontage of a hotel, like one of those hotels which has got black tinted windows and two huge doors. It's kind of a hotel that's so cool. There's no name on the outside, so you've just got to know that it's a hotel. And when Rufus starts singing, I go to those hotels all the time. When Rufus sings about leaving all my bags in the lobby, I just basically see absolutely everything in that area like really minimal, but everything is red velvet, because they start talking, you know, the walls, curtains, floor, desk, and then they start talking about the velvet stairs. And I just imagine this large spiral sweeping staircase with like the thickest, deepest pile of velvet you can imagine. And I don't know. It's just so every.
I know.
Where's he going with this?
But it's a really, because I mean, it's not in line with the song, because Hotel Crazy would probably be way more manic and crazy than I'm imagining it. But that's what I think every time. And then they go into the post-chorus together with the most amazing harmony. Love the lyrics. Do you disturb me? Love that. So there you go. Oh, I've got more actually. Do you want to hear more?
Yeah, go on then.
Let's have a look. I have crazy thoughts. I do crazy deeds. I have special times for my special needs. I present myself as a normal dude. Look you in the eye when I talk to you. And then I love this bit. Just a touch of the old socio. Is it empathy? I guess I'll never know. And I find one last thing, and then I'll stop boring you both. I find it interesting that it ends with the line, I think I can do it. I think I can do this. And it sort of repeats. Because I've actually heard Rob say that to himself before. In particular, I remember when we did the meet and greet in Vegas, Rob really slowly opened the door and kind of peeked his head round, and everyone went, ah! And then he went, yes, I can do this. And I've heard him say it in a couple of other videos, probably from Leo, actually, where I've heard Rob sort of say just quietly to himself or just to the room, you know, I can do this. And I think it's like a positive affirmation to, you know, help cast away the doubt and the anxiety in his everyday life, maybe. So just found that interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll stop talking about Hotel Crazy now. You'll be pleased to know.
You're going to picture the
So the
hotel.
next time I listen to this,
there you go.
next time I listen to this, I'll just envision
And Helena
what you did,
Bonham
Matt.
Carter with her arse out in the hotel.
Red velvet. And yeah, thanks.
Because apparently that's the only thing we should be looking at. So I will.
Great, yeah.
Right. Moving swiftly on.
Oh, I just wanted to say that
no,
there is a YouTube video of Robbie singing this at the Amsterdam Cube, which is Qube. It's on YouTube. He sings it really well, and he interacts with the crowd who are right in front of him. There's like no barrier; they're literally just stood in front of him. He does a really good bit of ad-libbing with the crowd and sings it, and he kind of ends it in a funny way. It's worth checking out on YouTube.
I watched that today, actually.
Oh, right.
It's he's like super happy.
Yeah.
It's a TV studio, isn't
Yeah.
it? He's super happy and super in the zone. Yeah, and then, like you say, at the end, he ends it funny. He just goes, I think I can do this, and then just stops. Because it repeats on the actual, on the record,
No, didn't he just go, I think I can do...
And then it just stops, and then he goes, that's it. And the crowd just laugh. That's it. But he did deliver it superbly well.
Yeah.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
So, should we move on to Sensational?
Yes. So Sensational was written for his fans. That's nice of him, isn't it? To write us a song. And it was by Rob, Guy, Rufus, and Chris Heath. It was produced by Guy and Richard Flack. It contains a sample of I'm Over 25, in brackets, but you can trust me, featuring Sammy Davis Jr., which was written by Mac David and Mike Curb, both well-known American songwriters who've composed thousands of songs for film and TV from the early 40s to the 70s, including Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland. Chris Heath detailed its writing in January 2013 in Reveal. Rob played I Am Over 25, but You Can Trust Me by Sammy Davis Jr. on YouTube, as he liked the brass fanfare at the start. He said he'd looped it before and rapped over it. Guy played some piano chords to go along with it, and a year later they came back to it, and it became Sensational.
In the track by track, Rob said, Sensational was written to be the last track on the live show for the Swing album. I think we had an idea that we needed a playoff song like they used to do in the golden age of cabaret, and we came up with this. It's egoic, irreverent, walk-off music. It was the last song of the evening, and it was quite bold to sing a song to them that they'd never heard. And people still seemed to enjoy it, and there was a good energy. Some of the lyrics in there, if you take them all literally, you'll get offended as a fan, as I noticed by reading on the forums. Well, he's telling us all to go away. You've been sensational, now go away. I don't literally mean it. If you take every lyric literally, you'll have a problem.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
For those that
Definitely.
find the humorous side of it, which I think is the majority, ain't it good? It plays the same sort of role on the album. It's the final song. It's bookends. Welcome to the Heavy Entertainment Show. The bit in the middle, then Sensational, now go away. Obviously, it's the end song on the standard album, not on the deluxe album.
Yeah.
But, you know, who bothers buying the standard album when you can get the deluxe with more songs on it? I mean, weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know why you would. Bobbie, would you like to go first on Sensational?
I like it. I think it's good. And he has played it live. Come on, Lucy, help me out.
He played it on the Swing Tour in 2014.
And I think it is a good ending to a gig.
Yeah.
I do like the bit where he's like, yeah, now go
Yeah.
away. Go home. You've done your bit, so off you go.
Well, I think as well, because Rob...
So, yeah, I
Rob's
do
always
like
had
it.
such an amazing brass section that it just works, doesn't it? Because it's a powerful piece of brass music from Sammy Davis Jr. And I went back and I listened to that track actually, and it's almost the same. What's weird though is when you listen to Sammy Davis Jr.'s track, that front bit with all the brass and everything on it, is the same, and then his song sounds completely different.
Yeah.
He starts singing, and it's like, is this a different song? And then you said it comes back again towards the end, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, right.
So where has he sang? Bobbie was asking earlier on about whether he sang this live
No,
again.
not since the Swing Tour.
So only at the Swing Tour.
Yeah. I loved it on the Swing Tour.
Wow.
Yeah, it was perfect. show closer. I
Yeah.
prefer it to My Way.
Well, that's my funeral song, so I quite like My
That's
Way.
my brother's funeral song as well.
Is it? Yeah. But no, I do think Sensational is a good ending to a gig. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially as he's talking to the fans as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all really felt it, that he was actually singing it to us, which is nice. Well, I'm then telling us.
Yeah,
to go away,
like
of course.
you've been emotional, you dirty bunch of sluts. I think that's good. I like that lyric.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, don't take it to heart, anybody.
I'd sing forever if I could. Maybe I should. I'm that good.
Yeah. All right.
And I think I just love the melody of the chorus. I think you're sexy and you're funny, and I love you because you love me, and I wish that you could stay, always stay. Now go away.
Go away.
It's brilliant.
It is. I think it's a clever song. I think it's.
You know the I'm hung like a dolphin. Maybe I said too much.
Yeah.
I'll always remember Sarah Hoyland shouting out during the Apple Music gig
Yeah.
at that bit. Prove it. After that,
She doesn't like this song. She doesn't like this song, does she?
I know she hates this song.
She hates
No.
it.
Well, I mean, obviously it was good that she asked to prove it, but I'm not sure a dolphin is hung well or not. Really.
They are, yeah.
Oh.
because on Genius.com.
You've been
Lucy's straight in
researching.
there.
You've been researching dolphins. Willies.
On Genius.com, which is a lyric site, for
Yes.
this song, someone has put a photo of a dolphin's penis on there. So when I was
Lucy
looking
can
at
say
it
dolphins are
was
well.
right there.
You heard it here first on the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast. Very educational. If you didn't know that already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're
Good.
not well hung.
No,
They
it
are.
was big, yeah.
She's seen it.
Oh, so he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also on the tour, I'm sure he sung at the very end, I love you so much, now go away, rather than Auf Wiedersehen. Like, I think they've just added the Auf Wiedersehen bit for the studio recording. I don't remember them doing that on the tour.
No,
You're
I
probably
don't.
right. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
No.
they didn't want to offend more people by keep saying now go away. So they thought, we'll soften it a little bit. We'll just say goodbye instead.
But Auf Wiedersehen sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do. It's a good
Yeah.
song.
It is. No matter what Sarah Hoyland thinks, I love it.
Yeah. And I think just because there's so many sort of references in there to us as fans and
Yeah.
to his performance for us. And I think we all know how important the energy of the audience is for Rob as well. So, you know, he really connects with that. And it's just a massive song that works incredibly well in massive venues in particular. You know, it works well anywhere, but I think it's in the stadiums with the brass booming out and just everything going on. Yeah, it's a real energy lifter. And
Yeah.
like I say, it finishes the show really well. And then we just go away. Which we have to anyway.
Okay. The next song is When You Know.
Written by Rob, Guy and comedian Jimmy Carr. Produced by Guy and Richard Flack. It contains a sample of Future Strings performed by Catherine Finch and Sekou Keita. Sekou Keita is a kora player and drummer from Senegal. A kora is a stringed instrument that combines features of the lute and harp.
In the track by track, Rob said, it was written about Ida with Jimmy Carr. Jimmy's a mate of mine. He's incredibly sharp, incredible with words. I just thought it would be a fun experiment to get him in the studio and see what we came up with. And we came up with a few. One of them was When You Know. It's about Ida, and it's always been a firm favourite. But as often happens with these writings of albums, firm favourites fall lower down the list as you write newer stuff. This was the last song to come off the record and to go on to the deluxe version. It was originally a 12-track album with this on. I took it off. Who had the casting vote? Ironically, Ida. In the bath, we were playing the album. The song was written to her. She is a gatekeeper to my life, my music, everything. And she was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling this one. And I was like, okay, I maybe should take it off. And inside I was going, ow, I wrote that about you, bitch.
What do you think about this one then, Bobbie?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
But not great.
I don't know. Yeah, it's another maybe skip. There's a few bits I like in it.
Right.
But sorry, Ida.
Yeah.
Well, she chose for it not to be on the album.
Yeah,
so.
she did. She did.
Well, yeah,
So I
that's
don't
true.
think you're offending her. Possibly we're offending Guy and Jimmy Carr, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it's not one of my favourites.
Right.
And I haven't written any lyrics that I like, so
Oh, okay. I think the lyrics are really good. Kind
okay.
of feel why not like Bobbie. You can kind of feel why he fell for her with these lyrics. You wear a mask for long enough, you just forget to take it off. Not you. You could see right through.
Yeah.
And I like the bridge. I built a kingdom up on the hill. If you hadn't found me, I'd be there still. And then I actually didn't realise he was singing drinking, drugging, rock and roll, appliances you put in holes. I didn't know that he was saying that until I read the lyrics.
Oh.
Appliances you put in holes.
Oh. So,
What does
thinking
what does
of
that
kitchen
mean?
then, and then I realised it's not about a kitchen.
I don't know,
Well,
really.
I do.
Is it rude?
Yeah, it's not
Basically.
about putting appliances in holes in kitchens. It's about putting other appliances in other holes.
Ah. Came out.
Oh,
Well, I mean, he
Supposedly.
could have been right about putting the washing machine in the gap that you put the washing machine in the kitchen, but I doubt it. Very much doubt it.
I doubt that, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's got a good sort of harp playing throughout, and apparently that's an auto harp played by Guy. Looking up in the instruments list. It's basically just another love song written for Ida with heartfelt, honest lyrics that only Rob can write. And I actually think it should have stayed on the standard album. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm slightly indifferent about it. Probably similar to Bobbie. I think picking up on what you said about I built a kingdom upon a hill. I'm assuming that's the house in LA, right?
Well, I was
And if you hadn't
thinking-
found me, I'd be there still.
Yeah.
yeah, like his house,
His original,
his old house that he was
Yeah.
just in and wouldn't leave.
up on
pretty
that
much.
hill. Your
Yeah.
tank rolled right through.
Yeah,
Loves a revolution, revolution for two. It's clever lyrics, as always. I listened to the Future Strings, that sample. I thought, I'm going to have a listen to that. And, oh my God. I mean, it's not pop music, but two incredible musicians, Katrin and Seku. I was totally mesmerised by it. I mean, he's playing like that, the kora cross between a lute and a harp, and she's playing like a traditional harp. And they were just incredible together. So, and you can really feel the influence of it in the song. So I'll stick a link on our episode webpage for that one. It's 11 minutes long as well.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
It shows once again, actually, I think that Rob has an experimental side. He's working with Jimmy Carr, who we all know most of us know is one of his good mates. He's a very famous British comedian and TV presenter. He's probably one of the sharpest and quick-witted comedians, I think, of our generation. But it can also be a little bit blue as well. So I'm sure that's why Rob enjoys his company, especially talking about appliances you put in holes. I think that came from Jimmy Carr. I don't think Guy Chambers wrote it, and although Robbie could write it, I don't think he did, but we'll have to ask him that. That's a good question. Should save that question. So Lucy and Bobbie were so innocent, they didn't know what that line meant. Matt had to explain it. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving swiftly on.
Exactly.
Moving on to the next track, which is Time on Earth.
So this was written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath and produced by Guy and Richard. Rob said, "Time on Earth is a song in a similar sort of vein as No Regrets. Maybe not lyrically, but definitely musically. It's a statement song, a statement of intent. Something that I should listen to just before I walk onto the stage, because quite often the confidence isn't real. But if you can't be confident, you have to be brave. This is a lyric that says, be brave. It starts off with saying it to me and then telling it to everybody, but I'm still telling me." That's our extensive notes on that one. Time on Earth.
Yeah, so I like this one. I like the line, "What's behind your eyes makes you a star." Because obviously his eyes have certainly got him places, I'd say. But it is what's behind his eyes that has made him a star, really. He says, "Those dumb looks only get you so far." You know, his looks have only got him so far. It's essentially his lyric writing.
Absolutely.
And his talent.
His creative genius that actually has pulled him through.
Yeah, exactly. "I'm going to walk onto that stage like it's my destiny." You can picture him saying that to himself, can't you? Before he goes on stage. He's trying to find Robbie.
Yeah, I think it's another positive affirmation before he goes on. Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, like you say, I'm gonna conjure up Robbie here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you two think?
Bobbie?
I like this one. Yeah. I have it really loud in the car. It's a feel-good song.
Yeah.
And like you say, you can imagine him saying that just before he goes out on stage. But yeah, I do like this. I just like, I've written down, "Raise a glass to the dysfunctional. It's never, ever too late." Don't know why I like that line.
Yeah, this one makes me feel a bit down listening to it. I don't know why.
Oh.
Maybe it's going to slightly, because it's got that slightly off feel to it. Although it makes you feel happy, Bobbie, I don't know why it does that to me. I'm not sure whether it's the musical arrangement or the lyrics at the beginning. It sounds like because it's quite deep, it sort of sounds like a struggle song to me, I think, Yeah. But actually, now that we've just been talking about the lyrics, there's actually a lot of hope in it as well, because it's like, I am going to walk onto the stage like it's my destiny. I am going to do this. I'm going to bring meaning to my life, that sort of thing, So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't ever really warmed to it. I don't know what it is, but lyrically and musically, it's great, of course. But I don't know. It's never really sat well with me, that one.
Yeah.
It's not a skipper, but
no.
It's, yeah.
I like it. I also like the line, "I dream a fantasy and then achieve it. Repeat the greatest lie till they believe it." Which is basically him talking about his career, isn't it? He dreamt about this, outstanding career, never thought it would happen, and then it has. And
Yeah.
And if he just keeps pretending that he is this big star, then everyone will believe it. It's just really clever. And the final line that I've written down is, "I feel like miracles are happening if I could just get out the way." Oh, you wrote that.
I did. I wrote that down as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go on to the next song, which is "I Don't Want to Hurt You."
Written by Rob, Guy and John Grant, produced by Guy and Richard. John Grant is an American Icelandic singer, songwriter and musician. Originally in the band SARS until he went solo, he's had 3 successful solo albums in the UK. Written in 2015 when John visited Rob at his house in LA with Guy.
Rob said, "People say, who do you want to write with? Who do you want to perform with? Rufus, John Grant, Dolly Parton. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I just haven't got round to Dolly Parton. I had the chance to be in the same city at the same time while John had a little bit of time off. He came up to the house and wrote with me. John was having an ABBA moment. We all have ABBA moments. I don't know if he ever leaves his ABBA moments. But he wanted a song that sounded like ABBA. I was sort of so in awe of him, I just watched him do his thing. He and Guy produced this song. I had very little to do with it, other than being appreciative that I was in the same room while this was happening, while someone that I'm a big fan of was making something. I changed a few phrases. It used to be a song where I sang it by myself, and I was like, no, I want to do a love song with John Grant. That'd be cool. So it's me and John singing it. He's everything that you want in a pop star. First of all, he's unique, he's incredibly talented. His lyrics are unique and his honesty is unique and funny and sad and complex. And you know, there's only one John Grant. I fell in love with him instantly when I was watching Glastonbury and he sang Sigourney Weaver on the piano at the back, and that doesn't happen very often, if at all. I get to sing with John Grant on my album, and as a gushing fanboy, I remain a gushing fanboy because he's a beautiful person too. Matt, what do you think of I Don't Want to Hurt You?
Yeah, it's another one where there's this interesting immediate start with the choir. It's not a go-to song for me. I mean, there are some good bits and there's an incredible trumpet solo and some very clever lyrics, but I don't necessarily enjoy listening to it. Don't know why.
Yeah, it's not my favourite on the album. I wrote that as well.
Yeah.
I like the piano medley and melody and the trumpet solo as well.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bobbie?
No, it's all right, but I can't. I don't know. I just don't seem to get into it.
Right.
Yeah, I generally skip it. To be fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Doesn't seem as though any of us are feeling this one.
Well, I wrote down that for me it feels a little bit like Elvis with his deep voice and the style of the song. It's maybe because we've only just been to see Elvis movie this week.
Yeah.
And just something about his voice in it just made me think of Elvis. There's some good lines in it. It's obviously about Ida. Pale imitations is all I got. I don't want to hurt you because I recognise the truth that you cannot be replaced, so I'm just not going to. I love how he sings the end bit, because I recognise the truth, so I'm just not going to, with real emphasis and depth on that line.
Mm.
It's not one of my favourites.
And then, of course, there's the controversial line, which Lucy asked me to remove.
Oh, yeah.
So the other day we were preparing our notes for the podcast, and I'd written my notes, which are in a different colour to Lucy's, on the same script. And I'd written down the lyric, "Aren't you a quizzy?" Quiz with a Y on the end. And I was like, well, and it says, "Aren't you a quizzy? Put your trust in me." And yes, there's been a big champion debate on this line in particular, because Lucy came to me and said, "I'm removing that note." I said, "Why?" Because that isn't what it says. It says, aren't you crazy?
No, it says, "Thought you were crazy."
No, it isn't even that. It's not.
It is.
Well,
here we go again.
What I would encourage every listener to do is go and listen to that song and listen to the actual lyrics. Don't look at what the inlay says, because it actually doesn't say thought. It says aren't, definitely. And then it says you were quizzy. Now, I know in songs they have to sometimes change the words a little bit to get them in and make them rhyme, but it definitely says quizzy. And quizzy means to make fun of, mock, to look inquisitively, or to question closely. So, aren't you a quizzy? Put your trust in me. So if someone's questioning you closely or mocking you or looking inquisitively, then you would ask them to put your trust in you and get them to stop doing that. So if it was crazy, it wouldn't work.
I still think it says, "Thought you were crazy to put your trust in me."
Yeah, but that's not what he sings. That might be what the inlays say, and the lyrics in the inlay say, but that is not what he sings.
Yeah.
So the champion debate rages on about that one.
Another question for Rob then.
Yeah, it is, but clearly Matt's wrong, but we will ask Rob. When we meet him, we'll ask him.
Yeah.
We're on for the list.
Yeah, but we did nearly have
I thought it was crazy, Lucy.
Yeah. Well, we did nearly have a full-blown argument about it.
You have a listen. Well, I was told it was being removed. I was like, no, I'm putting that in the show. What are you talking about?
Oh, I say.
Editorial rights, honestly. Equal rights here. Equal rights at the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Thing is, on the Spotify lyrics that Matt was using, that is his one is what it says, but I'm going by the CD.
Yeah, but I'm going by what I heard.
Yeah.
It's not thought. He says aren't. So that's definitely different. Anyway, have a listen, listeners. Tell me what you think. Look forward to hearing it.
I am going to have a
Quizzy.
listen now.
It's not a real word that anybody uses, but it's definitely there. Okay. Any more on that one?
No, I don't want to talk about that song anymore.
Let's calm down on that one. Yes.
No, move on.
So we're moving on to Best Intentions. Written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath and produced by Guy and Richard, it was initially called My Intentions Are Good. Doesn't have quite have the same ring to it, does it? My intentions are good. About the line, "You must be able to read my mind," he explained to Chris in Reveal, "Sometimes I think the voices in my head are so loud that you can hear them. It's like I can't believe when I'm on TV and being interviewed that people outside can't hear my voice going, 'You're on telly, you're going to fuck it up.' That's what my head's doing."
In the track by track, Rob said, "Best Intentions is pretty autobiographical to a point. Not every day is light, not every day is dark. Your morning could be dark, your afternoon could be light, and so on. It's a pretty autobiographical snapshot of my life at 2:30 that afternoon, that day. Things change, but my intentions are good. I don't mean to hurt anybody, upset anybody, be selfish, get things wrong, make mistakes, but I do, and I will. But honestly, I don't mean to be a twat. Honestly, my intentions are and were good." Shall I go first on this one?
Yeah. What do you think?
I love this song. For quite a long time, it was one of my favourites on the album, like maybe even possibly my favourite. I just love the lyrics. I love the way he delivers them. I love the chorus. It's another song where he's spilling his guts. I just think it's got really interesting lyrics.
Yes, it has.
If God wrote a book about everything that he's done, I'd go searching for my name. Now, wouldn't everyone? Love that line. Please don't read my mind. I'm so scared of what you'll find. That's a great line as well.
Mm. Yeah,
Before I steal all the lines from the song, because I love so many,
You never do that.
I'll let you two say something.
What do you think about Best Intentions, Bobbie?
Yeah, I like it. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics you've said, Lucy, probably the same for me. I think it's a clever song, and it's I do like this one.
I think the song feels very different, especially with that Rob kind of rap talking at the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
And I love have you mentioned Pissing in the Wind?
No, I haven't said that one yet.
I love the fact that he's got Pissing in the Wind in the song.
Yeah, that's a good line.
It's for a long time been one of my favourite analogies, that one. Like, you're just pissing in the wind there, you know. It's you're gonna get covered in it. I also like the other pissing one, which is we often use at work, you know. You should be on the inside pissing out rather than the outside pissing in. But that doesn't sound as good in a song, but, you know, it's another pissing one. We can take ego trips out to the countryside, got a big old house where we reside. And there's a big old boy with a big old gun, stays up all night in case the weirdos come. And I'm thinking, is that the Wiltshire house? You know, the house in the countryside? Would that have been about the right time to do it then? And obviously he's always got to have security, so I get that. But I think as well in this song is Rob's always very acutely aware, as we know, that people just expect him to be uber happy all the time. Just because he's got the luxury lifestyle and loads of money. And then, you know, especially in this line, another moan from a millionaire. I don't know why I'm telling you because you don't care. I'm holding out for peace and airtime. And, you know, I always feel for him because people give him bad, you know, maybe not the core fans, but other people, you hear them giving, oh, he's all right, you know, he's a millionaire. And actually, money doesn't solve mental health or, you know, problems. You know, there's some things money can't buy, and mental health is one of them. So, it's quite a melancholy tale, I think, this song. But at the end of the day, it's about being clear about who you are, your weaknesses, your demons, but being brave. And I think we were talking about this recently, weren't we? About Rob saying about being brave and kind of getting it right. And I think that's what we're all trying to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it meant a lot to me, that song. You know, I thought, we're all doing the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
I love the end where he says, but every now and then there's a dramatic pause. I kind of get it right.
Oh, yeah.
I just like the dramatic pause there.
Yeah.
Also, there's a bit where he's speaking in it.
Yeah.
I always try and hear that and work out what he's saying, but I just can't quite hear it. Something like, so I get to sleep around 10, 11.
I tried to listen to that. I couldn't quite work it all out.
You can't really hear it, can you?
Really, really in the background.
Yeah. It's obviously supposed to be like that. But yeah, I just love this song. I just find it really interesting to listen to and just,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's good.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
So let's go on to the final song on the album, which is Marry Me.
Written by Rob, Carl Brazil and Ben Castle, produced by Guy and Richard. Ben Castle is a friend of Carl's who's written with James Blunt, Kylie, Gregory Porter, Jamie Cullum, Paloma Faith and more. He also co-wrote Bad Sharon and New Year's Day with Rob. He's the youngest son of British TV presenter Roy Castle, who famously used to play the trumpet on the show Record Breakers. Do you remember? I remember it well. As a sax player, he's played with Sting, George Michael, Blur and more. Rob said, "Marry Me, pure and simple, is a song that I think could be huge. And I'm confused about it. It seems like a really big song about marriage and somebody proposing to somebody. And I think at another time in my career, it could have been another She's the One. Maybe, maybe not. Let the public decide. I wasn't thinking of my own life, it's just a story. I think when you're writing songs, you mumble things into the ether, hoping to form words. The particular words that I formed whilst I was singing to a guitar was, 'Will you marry me?' And it was, oh right, we'll go there."
In Reveal, Chris explains what producer Stuart Price thinks of this song. Apparently, Rob and Stuart had a discussion about what sort of artist Rob wants to be. Basically, credible or cheesy. 3 songs in particular that Stuart thinks stray over the line of acceptable for an artist like Rob are Marry Me, Disco Symphony and Funk With Us. Rob said, "I think they're cheesy, but I don't mind cheesy." He knows Rock DJ and Candy are cheesy, but says, "They came out of my heart and my soul and my mind. It's my cheesy. I own it. It's what I did. I want to be Mr. Saturday Night. That's what I want. I want Saturday night and I want Christmas." And soon after this, he did get Christmas as well. And soon we'll be having Disco Symphony released. Well, actually, by the time this episode comes out, hopefully we'll have actually heard it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So, Bobbie, what's your thoughts on Marry Me then?
I love it. Another one I can listen to on repeat over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Love everything about it.
Have any favourite lyrics?
At the beginning bit, because that reminds me of Vloggies.
Silence in the Courtyard. Yeah.
Because that was always on the beginning of a vloggy, wasn't it? Yeah. Biggest mouth in the world, or did he say England on the vloggy? I can't remember. He's just about to speak.
Biggest mouth in England.
Yeah.
You looked it up, and is it used on another song?
Yes.
Yeah, International Entertainment on Under the Radar too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on that. Just love this. Just love it. The whole thing. Just repeat.
Yeah. For me, I just think it's stunningly beautiful.
Yeah. Probably one of my favourite on the album.
Ah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Good, you won't be picking the one that I want then.
No. Well, no, we know yours.
Now we know yours. Not sure what Lucy's is though, so let's see.
For me, this song always takes me instantly back to the Heart gig that we went to around this time, when Gemma, one of the fans we know, was further ahead of us in the queue, and her and her friends played this song on repeat for ages. Just out loud in the queue.
Just had it on repeat, yeah?
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
do remember it now, yeah.
And
well, I think I knew all the words to it by the end of that queue.
Yeah.
Especially, please,
Yeah.
knees. What's the next song? See. me. I love the extended lyrics. It's just brilliant. There's a lot of emotion and energy in this song.
Yeah.
I mean, the orchestral arrangement in the background, those long and lingering vocals. I was just, not doing very well, but they're incredible. It just makes it really enormously powerful. There's just so much energy in this song, and it's a beautiful love song as well. His voice is great. I think it totally suits his voice. And I love that lyric at the beginning, the intro that you said, Bobbie, that silence in the courtyard, silence in the street, brilliant. Yeah.
It's also got Carl whistling in it as well.
Ah.
That's who's doing the whistling.
Carl whistling.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
okay.
Carl. It says it in the credits.
Oh.
Yeah, because a whistle is considered as an instrument, isn't it? So,
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
there's time for us all yet. Not just the triangle, we can whistle as well.
Yeah.
I just think it's it's just like a stereotypical ballad. It kind of builds and grows, doesn't it, as it goes on? It's sort of the chorus starts quite small, and then the next chorus has got more lines and more backing vocals and stuff, and it just develops as the song goes on. I can kind of see why Stuart Price said it was cheesy, but I think that Rob should have ignored him and put this on the main album and maybe even released it as a single. I think it's that good.
Yeah, I think there's a universal quality to it that actually would have appealed to, the sort of slightly lesser Robbie fans. I think it would have done well, actually.
Yeah.
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 It's a shame, isn't it? It's just hidden away on this deluxe.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's all of the songs we've talked about. So now we'll just talk about the tour.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
Let's just interrupt this episode to bring you a fan story, which we were lucky enough to record in person with Alex, who we met in Munich. He really wanted to be on the show, and so we were able to just record this snippet with him. So hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope you like Alex's story. Okay, so we've just come back from the Munich gig, which, Lucy, I'm sure you will say was incredible.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we've been joined by Alexander. Alexander, hello.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Lucy.
Hi. Nice to have you on.
It's so nice to meet you in person, finally, because we've chatted a lot over the years in the chat rooms and talked to each other through virtual means, but now we're together. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to have a quick chat with you.
Same for me. Thank you very much for possibility to say some words about
Absolutely.
After the concert, about some things about Robbie. So it was absolutely crazy way to reach this concert. 30 hours of way, 5 cities, 5 countries, 1 night bus, etc. And I'm here already after the concert, and it looks like there are more energy than I thought from the beginning of this trip. So it's all about Robbie, you guys, fans, when I have never met previously, haven't met for a lot of years. So good point.
So you had a nice evening today. Tonight.
Absolutely.
Good.
And it's good to be during the premiere of Lost.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
that was incredible.
The premiere of Lost live was
Yeah.
incredible, absolutely incredible. So how did you become a fan? What's your Robbie story?
25 years for Robbie for his debut album, right? 26 for the solo career.
Yeah.
He mentioned today. But in fact, there is a jubilee for me, anniversary of 20 years of me. Actually, there was a beginning in my childhood when I presented a disc FIFA 2000 to my friend, and there was the guy Robbie Williams. It's on the us, etc. But I haven't knew anything about it and him, and like everybody in another continent, in America, I really thought it was the actor.
Aha.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was Robin Williams?
Robin
But
Williams,
because
yes.
I liked Robin Williams then, I liked the fact that he recorded a really good song. Anyway, at one point I understood that it's somebody else.
Yes.
But I really didn't know, because there was no internet, there was no a lot of channels of music, and I was really young.
Yeah.
Really young. Anyway, I really liked the song, its opening, etc. After that, Supreme went to our minds. I was a very big fan of Formula One.
Yes.
I understood that something goes interesting with this artist. But I remember that the first real good popular group or artist what I really liked, it was Gorillaz. Robbie was the second at that point. But in 2001 I heard Eternity and Delay,
Right.
and I noticed the name of the album during MTV watching was Sing When Remaining album.
Yeah.
I understand that, okay, need to try to find.
Yeah.
And I tried and find, bought it. It was cassette.
Right.
No CD players in our family at that time. I went at home, it was evening, Saturday or something, and started to listen it. One song, second song, third song, everything is fine, sounds really good. And I remember that third song was Something Stupid.
Yes.
And I still sounding...
Something
and
beautiful.
No, Something Stupid. And I understood that, okay, I like this music, but where is Mendeley? Okay, I follow it. And my parents, they really liked this kind of music, swing, already understood. They heard this music and came to the room.
Yeah.
And told me, very good music. I really like it. And because it was my 13 years old, it's a very important age,
Yes.
full of kids, children. And for me it was very important to get some good points from my parents. So
Yeah.
and I understood that it's something different. I made a mistake. But after finishing the album, I still didn't understand why. My English wasn't so good, and the name of the album should be like this. And I went to the
Oh, I see. Right.
to the market and look at this, and watching another cassette, and I recognized that there is another album by the same, like I thought the same name.
Yeah.
Because I think I still don't understand what's different.
Yeah.
But I decided to buy
So you bought
it
Sing When You're Winning.
anyway. Okay, maybe it's
I see.
Yeah.
Sing
so-
when winning.
Sing, of course. So what important thing? It means I started to know Robbie like another artist, like a swing artist.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow! So you started with swing.
and I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after that already was Sing, but my favorite album is different. It's I've been expecting.
Ah.
But it's his best-selling album.
Yeah.
Best selling in UK. Oh, it totally. In UK,
worldwide,
definitely.
world.
In totally, I think greatest hits.
Okay,
the first one.
probably,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But excluding greatest hits, it's
Yeah.
probably the highest
Yeah.
selling, I think.
So I really like the story. So
Ah.
I started to be his fan by mistake.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you,
Thanks,
Alex, for
Alex.
speaking to us.
Appreciate. So have a good day, have a good evening.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Wish the new album. I mean, not the 25th, of course.
Yeah,
25.
proper new album.
I mean,
Yes.
Next year.
Yeah, I think there's plans.
Lift House.
There's
first,
plans.
probably.
Lufthouse. Lots of projects going on at the moment. He's doing lots of different things.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're divine. Very good.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. It was really nice to meet you, Alex.
What a great story. So nice to meet up with Alex in Munich.
Yeah, really nice to meet new people and hear what their Robbie journeys are.
And yeah, thanks, Alex, for chatting to us probably about midnight, wasn't it? But when we were recording that after the concert,
It was.
if not a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, great to meet up with you and everyone else that we saw in Munich as well.
Yeah.
On with the show.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
Yeah, the Heavy Entertainment Show tour opened in Manchester on the 2nd of June 2017 and saw Robbie perform for over 1.1 million fans in the UK, Ireland, Germany, France, Netherlands, Italy, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Poland, Lithuania, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Austria and Switzerland.
Made you read that out.
Yeah, you always do. I always do the lists. From Europe, he headed down under for an 8-day run in Australia and New Zealand in February-March 2018 before making his long-awaited return to Latin America in November 2018.
In the end, he performed 47 shows in 22 countries, including 8 dates in the UK and Ireland and 24 in continental Europe. According to Polestar.com, the tour made $62 million from 31 of the shows, and it came 25th in Polestar's 2017 Global Tour rankings. Erasure were the support act in Europe. Rob said, "Because they're great and I'm a huge fan of them, I still don't believe they accepted." Rob didn't rehearse much, saying, "My life has been best when there's been not a lot of rehearsal. Not preparing in the way that people think I should helps give me the adrenaline to deliver my form and my brand of entertainment, and it's worked for me so far. Why mess with that formula?"
Why indeed. The final 2 European dates in Russia in September 2017 were cancelled 2 days beforehand. The statement from his publicist read, "Due to illness, the final 2 dates of the European leg of the Heavy Entertainment Show tour, St. Petersburg and Moscow, have been cancelled. Robbie Williams will not be appearing at the New Wave event in Sochi." The New Wave event was a closing gala for a singing contest in Russia.
Rob managed to take to the stage again 2 months later in early November 2017 for the French NRJ Awards. In the December, he admitted doctors had found what looked like blood or abnormalities on his brain, and he'd spent 7 days in intensive care. He apparently couldn't stop dribbling and his left arm went numb and he struggled to breathe before his Zurich gig on the 2nd of September, but doctors had given him the go-ahead for that show.
Rob shared a video from his garden saying, "I want to update you on my state of health. I am now very well and I'm still recovering from an illness that started 5 weeks ago. The tour was going great, the audience was amazing, the band was great. I felt like a soldier and had to go to St. Petersburg and Moscow. But this disease hit me right at the end of the tour, when some test results came in that were very worrying. So I had to go to the ICU. I hadn't cancelled the tour for health reasons since 1998, and in this case, it was really impossible for me to continue. Russia, I love you. I can't wait to come back to sing Party Like a Russian with you. I greatly appreciated your prayers, wishes and thoughts, especially 5 weeks ago when I was in pieces. I am now vegan. I do Pilates and yoga every day, but on Sundays I treat myself to a nice burger, so I'm not completely vegan." I think he is now. "I wanted to tell you that I love you and I want to thank you for all your positivity and good wishes. Can't wait to get back to work. I feel 100% ready. Not quite 100%, but almost. So I'll be back soon. Peace and love to all."
Rob said, "At the start of the Australian leg of the tour in 2018, I didn't finish the European tour in great shape, but now, at the beginning of this, I feel very good. I like to get things done, and now I have the ability to do it in much better health than I left it. I managed to do 98% of the stages, but unfortunately I had to give up Russia to take care of myself." Rob was supported by the Bamboos and Shepherd in Australia, Tammy Nielsen in New Zealand.
The set list featured the national anthem of Robbie, the Heavy Entertainment Show, Let Me Entertain You, Monsoon, Strong, Party Like a Russian, Minnie the Moocher in Europe and Australasia only, The Flood in the UK only, Freedom, dedicated to the late George Michael, Love My Life, Come Undone, Never Forget in the UK only, Millennium in Europe only, Something Stupid, Rude Box, Kids, Sweet Caroline, Motherfucker, Feel, Rock DJ, Angels, and My Way.
Rob played 4 shows in South America in November 2018. The 5th date in Buenos Aires in Argentina was cancelled at the last minute due to torrential rain, thunderstorms and flooding. It was his first time playing Latin America since 2006. He had to take a 3-week break from his role as judge on the X Factor for the tour, as he'd already committed to it when he accepted the X Factor role alongside Ida. Nile Rodgers replaced him on the X Factor live shows. Asked on Upfront which was his favourite date on the tour, he answered Munich, Dublin, Brisbane. But honestly, they were all great. Apart from one, but I won't tell you which one. That's intriguing, isn't it? So there you go. That's the notes about the tour. Bobbie, what's your overriding memories from the tour?
And you said at the beginning this is the one that you went to the most, yeah? You went 11 times.
Yeah, I did 11. The set list was good, apart from a few.
Like Millennium.
Ones that could have been not on there. But Millennium, feel, what did you? No. I love... Sorry. Rudebox, love Rudebox.
Yeah. Always good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I just love the tour. Going to different countries. Yeah, it's one of my favourite tours.
The thing we haven't mentioned is the dress rehearsal.
Oh, yeah.
That was exciting, wasn't it? Being able to go to that.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
that was special.
You were at the back with us, weren't you, doing the conga?
Yeah, party at the back, yeah. Didn't queue. Was at the back, but it was good.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was very nice to have that sort of feeling of freedom of not queuing and then kind of going in, but there still being a ton of space. Like literally there was just 3 or 4 rows around the stage, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then there was no one else there apart from security and a few family and friends. It was very, very nice.
Yeah.
You could just walk around. No phones.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, it was all a bit traumatic for us, like getting there, though, because we were supposed to be seeing Take That in Birmingham that night.
Yes, we were.
And when the dress rehearsal was announced, I sold our Birmingham tickets because we were going with my mum and the kids. So we sold those tickets, and we bought tickets for Manchester on the 27th of May instead. And then, of course, the bomb happened in Manchester, so that couldn't happen. So then they rearranged the 27th of May, well, a few of the Manchester dates to happen at the stadium instead. And so we did get to go in the end. But unfortunately, it was the day after the Robbie Dublin concert that we already had tickets for. So me and Matt went to Dublin, went to the concert on the Saturday. We flew back to Heathrow on the Sunday morning really early. After having like no sleep all weekend. I just literally didn't sleep all weekend. Then we had to go to collect the parents, my mum and the kids, and then drive all the way to Manchester, go to the concert, and then we had to drive all the way back because the kids had school the next morning.
Oh, wow.
It was a Sunday. And I don't think I've ever been so tired.
Just had to keep going, didn't we?
But the thing is,
I
didn't want them to miss out on going to see the concert just because we'd sold our tickets so that we could go to the dress rehearsal.
Well, yeah, we made it work, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a palaver.
Yeah.
Honestly, things we do.
But that Dublin concert, I think, was my favourite on the tour that we went to because the crowd in Dublin are always incredible.
It was lovely, Dublin. We love going to Dublin. The people in Dublin are always nice. The Irish fans are lovely. The queue was lovely and amazing. There was a lot of drunk people in it towards the end, not just us, but the atmosphere in there was incredible.
Yeah.
It's just there's just a special vibe about being in Ireland that you don't always get everywhere else. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And I think the dress rehearsal was the only time I've been drunk at a Robbie gig as well.
Yes, I can probably confirm that. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean, just to come back to the dress rehearsal, obviously there was all that talk about Operation Pillow Fight for the fans, that real hardcore fans that remember that discussion happening with Rob on Upfront, and he couldn't do it in his back garden like he'd like to have done, and obviously we all thought that would be great. I think it was super kind of him to do it. You know, a lot of people just think, oh well, yeah, he should just do it, but actually it wasn't just the money. That was bloody complicated to set that up and to get us all there. It seems like, oh yeah, he just opened up the gates and let a few people in, but actually logistically and the bureaucracy and the paperwork and the extra staff and everything that all had to be laid on, it probably would have cost similar in terms of staffing to like a normal night. And so I think that was pretty special for him to do that.
Yeah, very generous of him.
of course, Into the Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And HES at the end.
Yes, especially for the fans.
Yeah, that was good as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I did find that he was very different in the dress rehearsal to what he performed like on the actual tour.
Yeah.
He was more like Rob, don't you think, Bobbie?
Yeah. Yeah, you could see a difference.
Yeah, it was like he didn't want to put on the Robbie show for us. It was Rob singing songs. I mean, there was a bit of ego on there, but he was quite relaxed, wasn't he, and chilled, and trying not to screw his back up again.
Yeah. Yeah, with all those chairs. And Erasure were a bit rubbish that night at the dress rehearsal, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it about that night?
I think they just couldn't be bothered.
Did they cock up?
I can't remember,
Were they just not trying hard because it was dress rehearsal?
No, just like he just couldn't be bothered.
But we've seen them on other dates and they were brilliant.
Yeah, they were only like that at the dress rehearsal.
Yeah. So were there any particular standout gigs for you out of the 11 that you went to? Anything in particular stand out? Any sort of memories from your trips to those?
Well, I just loved Australia because I never thought I'd get there, and the Australian fans are so nice, and really looked after me because obviously I was queuing on my own, so they really looked after me. But yeah, just being in Australia and seeing Robbie, I think that was probably the special part for me.
And another standout concert for me was Belgium. We went to the Werchter festival, and the doors opened at midday, I think, and then Robbie didn't come on till 11 p.m, and throughout that whole time, from about 2 p.m. onwards or something, we had all these Belgian acts on. None of some of them sung in English, but quite a few sung in Belgian. Is that what you speak?
Well, it's Dutch.
Is it?
Yeah.
Apart from Erasure, the day just dragged, didn't it? So yeah, I should add that the Belgium ticket was a present from Matt for my 40th birthday.
Yes.
Which I had no idea about, and he'd arranged it all secretly with Petra.
Thank you, Petra, for helping me arrange that.
Yeah. So I opened that on my 40th.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, well, how lovely.
It's very hard to do something in Robbie Land, especially with Lucy, that's a surprise. So I'm quite impressed that we managed to pull it off, really. So thank you to Petra for helping me do that. And I think we had to create some weird excuse about what we were doing that weekend. I can't remember what it was, but...
Oh, I think you put like a family barbecue.
That's it. It was going to be a big family barbecue, yes. I had to put something in because otherwise Lucy would have booked it up with something else. But it was a long day. And the thing is, we were all organised, staying in town, lovely group of people with us, and quite a few of us. And we got like a couple of minibuses in, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or something out of the venue. And they dropped us off at the back of the venue. Now, this place is miles big. I mean, it's just huge. So we literally got dropped off where the backstage people get dropped off, which is at least a mile, if not more, from the front gate it was probably, it felt like a very long way. And so we had to walk all the way around.
Yeah.
And I remember it was
That's not bad.
absolutely stiflingly hot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just didn't let up. But it was a good experience.
And I had one overriding memory from that gig, which Matt always says it wasn't to me, but it was when I was looking at Robbie on stage at one point. There was a cameraman in between me and Robbie, and so I turned my head to the side to turn so that I could see around the cameraman. And then Robbie seemed to notice me do that, and so then he put his head to the side as well and gave me a little wave.
I only jokingly say it wasn't to you. Of course it was to you.
Yeah, that was just a nice little moment that for some reason sticks in my head.
Yes.
Oh,
And the stage was incredibly high.
you do realise the person behind you was like,
Yeah, I
no,
know,
that wave
yeah.
was for me, actually. And then the person behind you was like, no,
I had my head
that was for
tipped as
me,
well,
actually.
this way.
Did you though?
No, the person behind you did.
Oh, the person behind
That
you.
was
Just
for you,
and then
Matt.
the other person said, I was tipping my head because I couldn't see around the camera. But Lucy claimed it, so Lucy's
I
There you
claimed
go,
it.
yeah.
It was for me.
claimed.
Yeah.
Claimed.
It won't. Yeah.
And then what else did we do on that tour? Southampton. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Hardly any queue.
yeah.
Don't think anybody really camped. And in the vloggies, he said he was really relaxed on stage. Reading your lines out now.
Yeah,
aren't
he
I?
gave us a champion shout out during Strong.
He did. That was very good, actually. Nice of him to incorporate Champion into a song and look at us. I'll have to put the link on the YouTube, the YouTube link on the site.
Yeah.
For that bit of him doing that. It's good. Dublin, we've talked about. That was incredible.
And London. I had tickets for London to go in seats with my mum. And when Matt found out or realised that I was going to a Robbie gig without him, he said, I'm not having that. You're not going without me. And I was like, well, I'm in seats, so you can't come with me. Well, I'll go in the standing then. No, you won't. That's not fair. How is that fair? I'm in seats and you're going to be at the front.
Well, I think yeah. Didn't I think I asked my parents to babysit? Probably.
No, my dad had to
your
come
dad
up and
had to-
babysit.
Your dad could babysit, yeah. Well, he was fine about that. But it was the fact it was in London, and I thought, I've got to be in London. And everyone else started talking about London. I was like, God, I'm not going to London. What's happened here? And I got a ticket, joined the standing queue, and it was another bloody hot day. And it was a terrible entrance because we were all forced into a tunnel that takes you from the outside of the stadium to the pitch. And we were held in that tunnel
It's
for
the
about an
worst.
hour, I think, could have even been more. Very difficult to get in and out of it once we were all jammed in there. And then I think you were further forward than me, Bobbie. There weren't really any lines. Everyone was like shoved in. It was just a mess. And then it was a free-for-all across the pitch once they opened the door. And I don't know. I managed to get with the friendlies, with the upfronters, and got a good position on the B stage. And it was a good, amazing show, and was waving to Lucy from down below.
Yeah, I was in the seats.
But you and your mum were comfy up in the seats.
Yeah, and Kelly, yeah.
And Kelly, yeah.
We had pins.
Yeah. It was a bit more difficult for us to have drinks where we were, but, I had a couple.
No, it was awful. That entry was
Wasn't it?
awful.
There was no
Yeah.
need for it, was there? Because it was organised all day long.
Yeah. And then the one security guard was just like, everybody come forward. We're like,
Everybody?
no. Everybody come forward. It was like, seriously?
No.
Then we got back into number order and got inside. It's like, everybody move forward. So it's like, no, this is not how it works. And then it was just a case of, just go.
Yeah.
Just get to where you can get to, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, the thing about it was only sort of hardcore fans and people wanted to be at the front. In the queue at that point when they let us in, it wasn't as if the whole standing queue were all waiting. Because once everyone gone in, it was like, oh, there's no one else coming in now. Once everyone had gone around the barrier and everything. I mean, it did start to fill up after that, but it wasn't as if, every single person that was standing was in the queue, because they weren't, and it was very strange.
No, there was like, you had quite a bit of room. And it was like, there's nobody coming behind me. But back there, it was like people stood on top of me. It's like, yeah, I don't think I'd go there again, to be honest.
I've seen Muse there since. It was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, the final one that we went to was Vienna, which was a lovely city. And fortunately for us, we were on the correct side, as the other side, the doors didn't open for them.
That was a problem.
That was all a bit dramatic, and it caused lots of issues.
Yes, it did. And that was probably one of the...
ongoing
people
issues
tend
as well.
to have not forgotten about it. I mean, you were either on the lucky side or the unlucky side, and, that was it. There was 2 queues. Sometimes the scanners don't work, technology breaks down, but then it wasn't handled very well once people got inside, because they didn't, there was...
It was not very good.
It's a bit of a mess. But then that was probably one of the hottest queues and gigs ever. I mean, obviously the UK is going through a heat wave as we're recording this right now, so we're pretty hot. But it was boiling the whole time we were there, wasn't it? The queue was absolutely stifling. I mean, everyone was looking after everyone, but we were literally having to make sure that everyone was drinking water and getting shade. It was just, hot. But it was an incredible show. I mean, we just had a lovely time in Vienna. It was a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a holiday there as well, not just a Robbie holiday. It was nice.
Yeah. So I think that's the Heavy Entertainment Show
Very
tour.
memorable tour, all in all.
And Bobbie,
lovely summer.
Just while I think of it, with the Apple Music Festival gig, I do have a favourite memory from that, and I'm sure you know what I'm going to say.
What's she going to say? Oh, she doesn't.
You don't know?
No?
When someone threw Robbie the bra, and he...
What did he say?
I think so.
He's... Yeah, what was it? Someone threw him a bra, and then he held it up.
Yes.
I can't actually remember exactly, but he basically signalled to Bobbie.
Oh.
When he had this bra held up against him.
And was it yours, Bobbie?
It wasn't Bobbie's.
Oh, right.
Yes, but it wasn't my bra, but he held it up against him, but then lowered it, went down a bit, as if to say...
Yeah, that was...
Mine were a bit lower, basically. Does that make sense?
But then he kind of... He did apologise, didn't he? Yeah.
And then he apologised, and blew me... He said, I'm sorry, and then blew me a kiss.
It was a good joke,
yeah,
though,
so
it did make me laugh.
He implied. I think we can guess. Yes, I wasn't offended. No.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
Anyway, so shall we say what our favourite song is from this episode?
Yeah, let's do it. I think mine and Bobbie's are quite obvious, but let's go through the tradition and offer our guest the first choice. Bobbie, your song from the ones that we've covered in the episode.
Marry Me is my favourite.
I thought you'd say that.
Yeah. And mine will be Hotel Crazy. And I think I said enough about that in the actual episode, so I probably don't need to say too much more on that one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Lucy?
No, I actually hadn't decided what to pick
You
at
having
all.
a little look through.
I'm between two songs, which is Best Intentions and Sensational. But I think I'm going to go with Sensational because it's just amazing live and makes me laugh.
Oh.
And it's got just a good vibe about it. I know that's a bit crazy because I said that Best Intentions was my favourite, but I do love Sensational as well. And like as time's gone on, I think I prefer Sensational more. So yeah, I'm going to pick that one.
Excellent. 3 good choices.
Oh.
And 3 quite different songs, really, I guess, because it's quite an eclectic mix, isn't it, the Heavy Entertainment Show, if you think about it, especially if you include the deluxe.
Yeah.
There's quite a mixture of songs there, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Before we say goodbye, I'll say thanks for listening. Tune into the next episode when we will be joined by Georgie from Australia to talk about the Under the Radar Volume 2 album.
Yeah. Wow. Another Under the Radar. Cool.
So, Bobbie, thank you very, very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been great having you on. We love you, Bobbie. You're one of our lovely friends. We met you through Robbie, and we enjoy queuing with you, and we have a laugh with you. And yeah, we've had some fun over the years, haven't we? And I'm sure we've got a lot more to
Yes,
come.
definitely more memories to be made.
Yes.
With the knobs.
With the knobs.
You can be with the knobs.
The champions and the knobs kind of work quite well together.
Yeah.
So we'll see you again soon, Bobbie.
Yeah, take care.
Nice speaking to you.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.